G'day Marvel Future Fight Gamers, VaderG here, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to take a look at Mystique in Speed Villain Alliance Battle, except we're doing it on a free-for-all day when the beast has a barrier or a shield, whatever you want to call it. But this looks like probably the only opportunity I'll get to test her. So we're going to put her up against, in this team, going to put her up with Zemo Lead, Black Cat and Mystique. Going to put her up against Doc Ock, with Zemo Lead, Mystique as the buff, and Doc Ock, and just see how we actually go. So let's have a look at the builds for both of these characters, see how they're set up, and then we'll run through Mystique's skills quickly once again. So got some 5-star Euro. Each character has one Odin's Blessing, just to even it out. I've kind of tried to keep the builds as similar as I possibly can. With Mystique, because she doesn't have a uniform, it doesn't translate very well to her dodge, to her crit damage, and her crit rate she gets from her fall skill. So that's not super important for her to build that up anyway. But her crit damage is pretty weak, 156, and her dodge is pretty pathetic, right? And this is a difference. When you don't have a uniform, it's really hard to get these stats up. So we'll have a look at her skills there. Yeah, so all maxed. Her ISO, I've just got it at basic at the moment, sort of basic effect, so 20% increase. Custom gear, CTP of Rage I've given her. I don't know if she'd get away with a CTP of Energy. I'm not really sure. I'm just giving her a Rage. Couple of reasons why. Because number one, that's probably what will score the most. Secondary, I'm playing on a PC, which I never do. I always play on an iPad, and I'm pretty unco anyway when it comes to using a mouse and keyboard. So I'd really probably prefer to have something a little bit more forgiving and a little bit less skill intensive. As we know, she doesn't have a uniform. Okay, so that's Mystique. Physical attack, 29,000, 29k physical attack. If we have a look at Doc Ock, we're up pretty much the same physical attack, which is, I don't know, I suppose it shouldn't be surprising because he is an older character, but he does have a uniform, and that does add a fair bit of attack. So let's have a look how we've got him built. His ISO set, once again, just a base level, nothing fancy with that one at all. We've got a CTP of Rage. We'll have a look at his gears, and as I mentioned, so just got one Odin's Blessing. Actually, he's actually got a couple more fully awakened Euro, where she only has sort of the 5-star Euro. And let's have a look at his stats. Okay, so he's packing 73% dodge, so he's pretty close to max, right? His crit rate 73%, which is nice, and his crit damage 141%, which is quite low. So we're not comparing apples with apples here. First of all, his dodge is quite high compared to hers. His crits overall probably much of a muchness, considering she gets that buff from her fall skill to crit rate. Let's quickly just run through her skills once more, just through her skill animations. So let's go to preview skill. And just to remind ourselves, right, so the key skills for her are her third skill, which is this one. If I hold down this button, it will actually show that it has damage accumulation based on damage dealt. It also has a counter attack in it as well, which is kind of interesting. It doesn't work all the time, but if we see it here, so if these guys weren't attacking, for instance, then you press your third skill, and basically it doesn't do a huge amount, right? It sort of just gives you your damage buff, which happens right at the start of the skill, which is nice. Now, if they're actually counter-attacking, something a bit different happens, right? So you get a bit of an explosion there. I have to admit, in the Alliance Battle runs that I have been doing, I haven't been waiting for that explosion. I've really just been going for the damage buff, but it does do pretty decent damage. We'll have a quick look at her 4-skill. We'll just have a look at the description on the screen, then we'll run through it again. So her first skill, we've got incapacitation to the enemy. We've got decrease down, ignores immunity. But most importantly, applies herself, super armor, all defense, increases all attacks by 30, and crit rate by 30%. And that's why I was saying before, a crit rate, if it's like 40% in the stats, it doesn't matter a huge amount. This skill has a cooldown time of 14 seconds. So in theory, if we're on it, if we're on our game, it shouldn't be too many times when it's not active, that buff. Okay, so let's just have a quick look at the actual skill. We can kind of see in the back end of it here. So you see she sort of morphs into Wolverine. So let's just do it again. It's a pretty cool looking skill. Just do it once again. That bleed damage is pretty insane, actually. And it does a pretty decent amount of hits, so 40 hits. So let's just acquaint ourselves with our 5th skill. Just going to hold it down again here. So we got bleed damage again. We got a stun, defense down, applies herself invincible 6 seconds. She has no dramas in regards to survivability, I can tell you. It's also got an attack buff on it, a defense buff, and a speed buff as well. So the cooldown time of this skill is 15 seconds, slightly longer than the 4th skill. The 3rd skill cooldown time, 17 seconds. Okay, so it's a little bit harder to weave into the into any sort of regular rotation. You'll actually see that through the runs. So that's it pretty well for her skills. While we're here, let's just have a quick look at her Awaken skill, because it's pretty cool to look at as well. Goes up in the air, Magneto. What I found is you can cancel that skill roughly when you see Magneto appear. It's a pretty awesome looking skill. Got to admit, a 2nd skill does a nice amount of hits. It's really nice for triggering the proc for sure, if you need it. Her 1st skill also does a nice amount of hits as well. She's a really OP unit, to be perfectly honest. She's a crystal wall, but she's probably worth it. There's been plenty of other crystal walls that, in my opinion, you'll actually, if you look at my real roster in game, you'll see that I've got them at tier 1, but I haven't used a mega rank up ticket to take them to tier 2. I bought them when they were on special, and that's kind of where I've left them. They're there if I need them to rank them up in the future for Alliance Battle, but at the moment they're just really there at tier 1 doing not a huge amount. So alright, there's the skill descriptions. What we're going to do, we're going to try and lock a score in with Dr. Octopus, and see what a half decent score will look like with him, and then we'll give this OP unit a bit of a run. And she looks so cool. I just love this. Love the detail of the skills, and that sort of come here with wave the finger, come here. She's even got like the little skull up there on a headband. She's yeah, and that pistol, man. She's a cool looking unit, eh? So anyway, guys, I'll see if I can capture a run. And what we're doing, we're only doing comparisons here. This is not going to be anything relatable to the final score. So let's just say I do 1.8 million with Mystique. If that happens, that's not going to be 1.8 million in the real environment, right? We've got much lower stats on our cards than what the top Alliance Battle players typically have. And even my account, which is VIP 14, I can build her up a lot better than what we can here. Anyhow, guys, let's get to it and log a couple of runs. Alright guys, there we go, 1.93 mil, not a bad run, couple of guard breaks, but based on keyboard and mouse, not too bad. So let's have a look at our new speed villain candidate, Mystique. Really love the look of her skill descriptions. This was the very first run that I did with her. At the end of this run, I'll post another screenshot where I slightly improved the score, but this will give you a little bit of an idea. I have no idea if I'm doing the rotation correctly. I really don't know. It kind of made sense to me, this rotation, but sometimes the rotations that actually make sense in your brain are not really the best rotations that you can come up with. So let's see how we go and see how she compares with the with that score from Doc Ock. All right, guys. Alright guys, pretty tight, eh? 1.86 million. Man, that is tight. So considering her build, considering she doesn't have a uniform, you can just see how powerful she actually is. Now here's something a bit crazy. What happens if we were to actually do the alliance battle? We have both of them with a CTP of Rage, and we swap in and out and see what we score with the awakened skills going backwards and forwards. Let's take a look at that run. Let's take a look at that scenario and see how we go. All right, guys, been doing a bit of toe tapping to that track. Very nice indeed. So you can kind of see this is pretty clumsy type of run because I really have no idea what I'm doing. I only played for maybe I tried this 2 or 3 times, but the score is good. I think the upside of this is quite high. Having said that, I did score 2.05 with Mystique earlier, but this was far from a perfect run with this combination, what we'd probably call a team up type setup. So I don't know. There's a few options there. What I do know is Mystique is a must-have at Tier 2. Here's something else I wanted to share with you guys. When I was just setting up my characters early this morning, um, wanted to get some ISO 8. Normally you just get some ISO 8 6-star from here, from the chest, but have a look at these pulls from these chests. There's no lower ranked ISO at all, so I'm not sure if this is a change in the game or if it's just for the test server environment. But either way, man, I'm loving it. Look at that. How cool is that? So anyway, guys, let me know what you think below in the comments about who you think is a speed villain meta. We both know, well, not we both, we all know that we're gonna need Mystique. We're gonna need her to buff, at the very least, to buff Superior Octopus. But I predict that she's actually going to beat him by a fair way on Speed Villain Day. Anyway, anyhow, or will it be a combination sort of setup? I don't know. Will we do better if we have both? That will probably be Netmarble's dream, where we're using two meta characters set up to do an alliance battle run. So from a sales point of view, that is anyway. And we're seeing no change here from the type enhancement or the Euro chest. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching the channel. Really appreciate it. Let me know your feedback on the vid. Let me know what else you want me to have a look at. And have a good day. See you guys.